So there was an article here that was posted by Forbes.com, and when I first saw it, it kind of confused the heck out of me because they're talking about how next month we are going to have a Microsoft event, but mainly it's going to be about the brand new computers, the Surface Pro 9s are going to come out, and that's pretty much it. We're not expecting to see anything about the Surface Duo 1, 2, or 3 in this event. But what this article was talking about, and before I saw the patent, it's just talking about how there's this patent that got revealed. It was filed last December, and it absolutely is crazy. You could fold the phone inside or 360 degrees pretty much. And I'm like, this is like the typical Surface Duo 1 and 2. What are you talking about? This patent sounds like they just filed the patent for their own device. But then I saw the patent. So let's go ahead and look at this patent because this is kind of crazy. So this is coming in here from patientlyapple.com, and here is what the patent actually looks like. So it's a little bit different, and they actually do a really good job here of showing off the patent and then what it actually looks like beforehand. So beforehand, it could obviously close, could go 180 or 360 for the Surface Duo. This is what the patent looks like now. So it's 3 display panel device, a second hinge, and of course, it gets a little crazy. So the Forbes magazine talks about how, this has never been done by any foldable phone company ever. And how Samsung owns this field, but this one creation could absolutely change everything and give Microsoft the lead. Now, I'll be honest, even if they do create this device and let's say next month we actually see a reveal or a leak of this is not going to take over. I'm just going to tell you this right now. This is the first generation or first iteration of this concept, and with Microsoft's track record, they're going to get absolutely shot down quickly. I'm just going to say that right now. The reason why people love the Z Fold 4, Z Fold 3, Z Fold 2 is there's 4 generations of that product. This would be the first generation, and if you're like, well, the Surface Duo 1 and 2, the Surface Duo 1 was a failure. The Duo 2 was better, but still not really great sale-wise. And now this would not be a third generation. This would be a new generation of foldable cell phones by Microsoft because it's not really adding on to this Duo 2. It's actually completely changing the concept to 3 screens instead of 2 screens. But going down here, they actually do go ahead and show this off a little bit more. So obviously, yes, there is a first display, a second one, and the third one looks like it's like a mini display. So it's like half or like 1/3 of the normal display size that can curl in. It's weird. It's weird. And listen, I've said this many times on this channel, and I'm going to reiterate this a billion times on this channel in my life. The Surface Duo is such a niched product. As you see right here, it does say fold-out keyboard. So I guess that last display is going to be a fold-out keyboard. So it's going to be like, bam, 360. It's going to be a normal actual phone, a normal Surface Duo. But the third display is going to be a fold-out keyboard or whatever you want to do it. So instead of the hinge, the quick hinge look, it's going to be a third display. But it's going to be 1/3 of the normal display size. So, hold up. Before I iterate that point, let me just take this in for you guys real fast. So the Surface Duo 2, right? Imagine right now in your head the Duo 2. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of the Duo 2. My Duo 2 currently is charging. It's like dead, so I don't want to go ahead and get it. I'm putting up a picture of the Surface Duo 2 because the biggest issue with the Surface Duo 2, right, was that camera bump. That camera bump is an issue, right? And I'm trying to see if I could find a one on the back of the Surface 2. Okay, here we go. So, let me go ahead and pull this over. Grab my mouse back. All right, I'm going to take my face off so you guys can see this better. Okay, so this is Surface Duo 2, right? Nothing special. Obviously it has a little, camera bump, which makes it off-centered versus normal Surface Duo 1. Imagine this part right here where you see the app, where you see the Windows logo, right? This whole third here is a display that bends around and just sits there. So it's just sitting there the whole entire time, this display right here. And it's like an outside display on the Surface Duo 2, which would, I guess, be the Surface Duo 3. And at any time, you can just bend that display around and have a one gigantic display. Now, here's the problem with that, is that would be foldable glass, right? And have we seen foldable glass before? Anyone have the answer? Anyone? Yes. The Fold series has foldable glass. So that would, first off, means the whole entire thing would be foldable glass, which kind of doesn't make sense with the hinge. I guess you would have to just completely make it one display inside with that extra display at the end, which is kind of like if you think about like this, it's kind of like if you have like a comparison here. It's like a little extra, you have paper, right? And you fold it over and you have a little flap. It's a little extra flap. That's what it is. So it would be one display and a little extra flap at the end. Because they're not going to make two Gorilla Glass Victus panels and then somehow, some way fuse in a flexible display at the end. But even if that's the case, when you bend it over, what's the biggest problem with the Fold series? Anybody? Yes, the inside display is not that durable. Now it's gotten a lot better, but if this display, when you close it, is literally around one shell of the phone and all the way behind to the top of that phone, guess what happens when you put that phone in your pocket? Yeah, there's a reason why phones that had one display and could bend over like this, where the whole entire thing's display, there's a reason why they are not successful. There's a reason why. Because when you put that phone in your pocket, you're going to scratch it, and a little scratch on a flexible display, which is very microfiber glass, is going to break it. And when you break it, that's going to be the problem. So I don't know how they're going to figure this out. I understand the patent, and the patent's cool, right? It's a really cool concept, really cool idea, but I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. And with Microsoft's track record, I don't think they can afford to have this be a blunder. They really can't, because if they release this phone and it absolutely breaks and doesn't work, then it's just going to be absolutely a flop, and people are going to get mad, and they're just going to be like, I'm done with Microsoft. Now, here's another concept, because in this picture, right, it looks like it's two different displays with this little, I guess the third hinge would be the flexible display. See, that's so confusing to me, because how can you have a hinge into a flexible display? So if you have two Gorilla Glass Victus panels and then you have a third hinge that has a flexible display, even though yes, it wouldn't be all one display, then it's so weird to me. But even if it does, let's say for example, according to this picture, it folds in, right? So the third hinge folds the actual screen in. When you close it, you're gonna have that gap just like this. So the camera bump now is going to be even weirder, because it's going to be a little camera bump and it's not going to close all the way. And how is that going to work when you have two Gorilla Glass Victus panels pushing together on a plastic thin layer glass display? And what happens if you accidentally hit the phone? What if someone bumps onto it? What if something falls onto it? This is just a very slippery slope, in all honesty. And even if they do end up going ahead and having it be one total display, and the hinge is kind of like the crease type of thing, where obviously there's a hinge on the Z Fold series, right? You get the hinge. Even if that is the case, right? It's just, I just don't see how this would work. And if it is three separate panels, so it's like panel 1 like this, hinge, panel 2, hinge, panel 3, it's just, I don't know. It says right there 90 degrees. This is second portion, 106 degrees. I just can't see how this would work. And with Microsoft's track record of not really being that amazing, This is what I was talking about when I talked about how, you know, it goes underneath and goes like that. So when you close it, it could also go underneath the phone instead of inside the phone, which that would avoid out, you know, the whole concept of there being an issue, why there being the issue with the actual under the what's called the little gap, but then you have the next issue of putting in your pocket. I just couldn't see it. If they do go something like this, they have to really polish this, and they're gonna have to do a lot, because I'm telling you right now, people are not happy with them. The consumer base is not happy with them. Getting back to my point I made it like 3 minutes in this video is that, again, I reiterate this a million times. This is a niche product. This is a niche device. So this is really comes down to a small market who really mess with and go after the Surface Duo 1 and 2, myself included. For me, would I buy this device if it's polished enough? Yes. And that's the consumer base they need to sell to. If they try to flip this around and make this like a, oh, this is for everyone, this is a flagship type device, guess what's going to flop? But another thing that's scaring me about all of this is the price tag. Because you got to think the price tag is going to be absolutely insane on this phone. The price tag has to be over $2,000. And if that's the case, then they're really just going to push for a new market. Going to push for a market that is just the absolute opposite of what they probably want to get into. And that's going to be kind of above a Z Fold market, which if they do that, they have to compete with the Z Fold or make a better device. And this is probably not going to be it. But Duo 3 possibilities. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.